Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode here on Eat Sleep Brief. And this week, it's going to be an interesting week because I think not only us here in California, but pretty much all around the world, a lot of people are experiencing the whole outbreak of the coronavirus. So it's something that's not only affected us here locally, maybe affected you locally, it's actually affected everybody worldwide. And every country is doing the best they can to slow this down. Some of us, if you're here in California, also some other states here in the United States, you're kind of quarantined. You can't go outside. You have to stay in your home. And it leaves a lot of downtime. It leaves a lot of time, especially if you're into reef tanks, to really look at the tank, fix any issues we have with it. In the next week, I'm actually going to be releasing a video that's going to cover 5 things you can do right now amidst this whole coronavirus thing going on. 5 things you can do to better your reef tank, whether that's getting algae fix that you've been dreading that you want to fix, getting that sand bed really nice and clean, completely cleaning your sump. I mean, whatever it is, I'm going to have about 5 topics that I'm going to be covering. So you guys probably think this is a clickbait, right? You're like, how the heck is the coronavirus affecting a reef tank? Well, it's really funny you asked. 2 days ago, I made a video and pretty much asking people what algae or bacteria or what the heck I have currently going on in the Moat Aquarium 50 gallon tank. And it was interesting. A lot of people were kind of leaning towards the same direction that I was. I was leaning to it being a bacterial issue more than anything. I don't think it's an algae issue. Why? One, because my feeding regimen, there hasn't been a lot of feeding going on. Typically algae, you'll see them just like plants. They have quite a bit of green in them. This thing really has none of that. So long story short, there's a ton of comments. A ton of you. I want to thank each and every one of you that took time to comment. But a lot of people leaning the same direction, saying it's bacteria to bacteria. There's actually a few names that were mentioned on there on exactly what type of bacteria it is. But it really got me thinking. And it just hit me. It just hit me like a light bulb just went on, and I was like, I know exactly what it is. And that kind of leads it here to the title, how the coronavirus affected my reef tank in specific. And I probably foresee there's a few of you that either may have this issue or will encounter it, either are having it or will have it at some point, if obviously you don't take the proper precautions. So pretty much what it was, there's chemicals that we're using to either wash our hands, hand sanitizers, hand soaps, air fresheners to kill bacteria, Lysol. I mean, Clorox wipes. There's so many things going on in our home, and rightly so. We want to protect our families. We want to make sure we don't spread this virus. But you have to be very careful that especially aerosols are going to affect your reef tank in one way or another. And they've affected mine. So I'm going to show you some of the chemicals that I've been using that now I know exactly what the cause is and probably what we can do to avoid them. Here are 5 of the chemicals that I know we've been using at our household. 1, Chlorine disinfectant wipes. Obviously soap, hand soap, that's pretty much everywhere. Also some surface cleaner. It's a little bit more of a greener alternative than Lysol or some other cleaners out there. Not Lysol, that's a disinfectant. But anyways, a Windex or a glass cleaner of some sort, even if it doesn't have ammonia. And of course, the very popular air fresheners. So these are 5 of them that you do want to be very careful for. I'm not saying stop using them. Obviously, in these times, you're trying to disinfect as much as you can, keep your family safe. But if you are going to be using hand sanitizers, which you probably should, and hand soaps, you do not want to be touching your reef tank. Even when feeding them, you want to keep, especially now, your hands out of the water. With Clorox disinfectant wipes, no big deal. But if you are using any cleaners or aerosols or air fresheners, you got to be very careful because they will not mix. And kind of leads me to my next part. What really led me to believe this was I noticed about mid last week there was a surface film on top of the tank, and I was like, I've never seen this surface film ever. But then I'm also aware, I've read quite a bit, that surface film a lot of times is one, because you have very bad surface agitation, which clearly you can see we don't have. Number 2, there's a bacteria in the water that's kind of just settling on the top, and it just makes this really nasty, like slimy film. And sure enough, I saw the film and my light bulb went off in my head and I said, it's a bacterial bloom. So that kind of has led it to become this. You know, it pretty much the main culprit to blame with what you're seeing here. And I believe not only by the comments, but by everything I've just showed you, that it really is a bacterial bloom. With bacterias in time, you know, the beneficial bacteria will take over and will, you know, be able to stabilize. But as of now, there's really not much I can do other than continue your maintenance. I'm doing 20% water changes to kind of keep that at bay. You know, still feeding, still doing everything I'm normally doing, but obviously any aerosols that, or sorry, any air fresheners that were near your tank, you want to be sure and disconnect those, because last thing you want is to happen to me to happen to you. So I'm hoping you guys can really learn from my mistakes. And obviously, again, I'm not telling you to not use these, because of course, especially in these times, they're very important. But just be very careful that if you're using them too close to a reef tank, you know, like let's say you're cleaning your kitchen cabinets and your tank is, you know, a few 2-3 feet away, you may not want to spray this into the air. You may want to spray it into the cloth and then clean. It's just some measures to take. Not only now, I mean, really in any time you can take these measures, but it's so interesting to see how indirectly this coronavirus has even affected my reef tank by what I just showed you guys. Just like I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I am going to be releasing another video this week, probably Thursday or Friday, showing you guys 5 things you can do to your reef tank in this time that we're at home, we're, you know, don't have much to do, pretty much to help you get your reef tank back on track. So a few things I have in mind, and I want you guys to pay attention here, because I highly want to take your recommendations on what you would like to hear some topics me cover. The ones I currently have in hand is your glass, how to maintain a clean glass, not only from the inside, but also from the outside, how to maintain a really clean and white sand bed. You can see there. I'll briefly talk about some supplements that you can start dosing your reef tank, because obviously those take time to see change. What better way you're going to see change than being locked up at home and you're able to monitor them on a daily basis. Also parameters, how to adjust either low alkalinities, high alkalinities. I'm going to show you guys how you can do that. And obviously the very obvious and common one, how you can control and maintain, but more importantly, battle and win any algae issues, any bacterial issues of those sorts. So if there's anything I didn't cover that you guys would like to see me cover in this week's top 5 things you can do amidst this whole coronavirus to better your reef tank, be sure to leave them down in the comment box below. I'd also like to hear if you've ever had any experience with these aerosols, cleaners, and any bacterial blooms like this, because as you can see, they're not very cool, but luckily it hasn't completely taken over the reef tank. I mean, if we step back a little bit, you can't really see them that much. But yeah, I'd love to hear those comments, guys. Also be sure to leave down below what topics you guys would like to see me cover this next week. And we're gonna leave this video here, guys. I thank each and every one of you very much for watching. I hope you know, you guys stay safe, keep the family safe. Don't try not go out too much, wash your hands, and just limit your contact with other people, you know, obviously other that live in your household, so we can hopefully battle this thing out and get on top of it. Thank each and every one of you very much for watching. As always, happy reefing.